My son texted, "We need space from you. Please don't reach out anymore at all." So I just respected it. And 3 years later, I discovered the real reason he cut me off, and it had nothing to do with me. My name is Robert Hayes. I'm 62 years old, and this is the story of how respecting my son's boundaries led to uncovering a manipulation I never saw coming, and taught me that sometimes silence is the loudest message you can send. I lived in Portland, Oregon, retired high school teacher, widower. My wife, Ann, died of breast cancer in 2018. We'd been married 35 years. We had one son, Michael. He was 31 in 2021, married to a woman named Lauren. They lived in Seattle, 2 hours north. Michael and I were close, or I thought we were. After Ann died, he called me every Sunday, visited once a month. We'd watch football, go to dinner, talk about life. Then Lauren came into the picture. They met in 2019 marketing conference. Lauren worked in PR. She was polished, confident, beautiful. Michael was smitten. They got engaged after 6 months, married in 2020. Small ceremony during COVID, just immediate family. At first, everything seemed fine. Michael still called, still visited. But gradually, things changed. The Sunday calls became every other week, then monthly, then sporadic. The visits stopped. Michael would say they were too busy. Work was hectic. They were remodeling the house. I tried not to worry. Newlyweds need time together. I understood. Then came the text, March 2021, Tuesday afternoon. I was grocery shopping when my phone buzzed. Message from Michael. "Dad, Lauren and I have been talking. We need some space from you. We're trying to build our own family, and we need boundaries. Please don't reach out anymore. We'll contact you when we're ready." I stood in the produce section, reading it 3 times. My son was cutting me off. I called immediately. It went to voicemail. "Michael, I just got your text. I don't understand. What did I do? Please call me back. Let's talk about this," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't call back. I texted, "I respect your need for space, but can we at least discuss what prompted this? I'd like to understand." No response. I called the next day. Voicemail again. "Michael, it's Dad. I'm worried. If I did something to upset you or Lauren, please tell me. I want to make it right." I left another message. Silence. For 2 weeks I tried. Calls, texts, emails, nothing. Finally, I drove to Seattle, to their house in Capitol Hill, knocked on the door. Lauren answered. "Robert, you need to leave," Lauren said firmly. "I just want to talk to Michael. 5 minutes," I pleaded. "He doesn't want to see you. He made that clear," she stated. "Lauren, please. He's my son. I don't even know what I did wrong," I said. "You're suffocating him. You're too dependent on him. He needs space to be his own person," Lauren explained coldly. "I'm dependent? I call once a week. I visit once a month. How is that suffocating?" I questioned. "It's emotional dependency. You're using him to replace Am. He can't be your therapist anymore," Lauren said. That stung. "I'm not using him. Yes, you are. And he's tired of it. So am I. Please leave or I'll call the police," Lauren threatened. I left, drove back to Portland in tears. My son thought I was emotionally dependent on him. That I was suffocating him? I went to therapy, started seeing Dr. Ellen Chen, a grief counselor. "Tell me about your relationship with your son," Dr. Chen said in our first session. I explained everything. The weekly calls, the visits, Anne's death, Michael cutting me off. "Do you think you were too dependent on him?" Dr. Chen asked. "I don't know. Maybe. I called once a week. Is that too much?" I wondered. "Was the content of those calls about you needing support, or were they just normal family check-ins?" she questioned. I thought about it. Normal stuff. How's work? How's the house? Plans for the holidays? Sometimes I'd mention missing Anne, but not every call. "That doesn't sound like emotional dependency. That sounds like normal parent-child communication," Dr. Chen observed. "Then why did he cut me off?" I asked. "Sometimes people project. Sometimes a spouse feels threatened by a close parent-child relationship. Sometimes manipulation is at play. Without talking to Michael directly, it's hard to know," she explained. "So what do? I pressed. "You respect his boundary, as painful as it is, and you work on building a life that doesn't revolve around waiting for him to come back," Dr. Chen advised. So that's what I did. I stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped reaching out. It hurt like hell, but I respected his wishes. I threw myself into other things, volunteered at the library, joined a hiking group, started woodworking, made friends with other retirees, built a life that didn't revolve around my son. Months passed, then a year, then 2. Birthdays came and went. Holidays. No contact. Sometimes I'd wake up and forget, reach for my phone to call Michael, then remember he didn't want me in his life. By year 3, I'd made peace with it, or as close to peace as I could get. My therapist said I was doing well, building independence, finding joy in other relationships. Then in April 2024, my phone rang. Unknown number, Seattle area code. I answered. "Hello? Dad?" A woman's voice, not Lauren. "Who is this?" I asked. "It's Jessica, Michael's coworker. We met once at a company party in 2019, she said. "I remember. What's going on?" I said carefully. "I need to tell you something about Michael and Lauren. Can we meet?" "I'm in Portland for work today," Jessica said urgently. "Why? What's wrong?" I questioned. "I can't explain over the phone. Can you meet me at the Starbucks on Burnside in an hour?" she pressed. I agreed, drove downtown, found Jessica waiting at a corner table. She looked nervous. "Thank you for coming," Jessica said as I sat down. "What's this about?" I asked directly. "Michael doesn't know I'm here. He'd kill me if he found out. But I can't stay quiet anymore," Jessica began. "Quiet about what?" I demanded. "About what Lauren did. About why Michael cut you off," Jessica revealed. My chest tightened. "Tell me." Jessica pulled out her phone, opened a voice memo. "I recorded this at a work happy hour last month. Listen," she instructed. She pressed play. Lauren's voice came through the speaker, slightly drunk, laughing. "Honestly, getting rid of Robert was the best thing we ever did. Michael was so attached to his dad, it was pathetic, calling him every week like he was still 12. Another woman's voice. "How did you get him to stop?" Lauren. "Easy. I told Michael his dad was too dependent on him, that it was unhealthy, that Robert was using him to replace his dead wife. Made Michael feel guilty for enabling it." Woman. "Did Michael believe that?" Lauren. "Eventually, I kept bringing it up every time Robert called.
Every time he visited, I'd say things like, "He's here again?" or "Doesn't he have his own life?" Made Michael feel smothered. Finally, he agreed to cut contact. Woman: Wow, that's intense. Lauren: Robert was always going to be a problem. He and Michael were too close. I needed to be Michael's priority, not his dad. The recording ended. I sat there, frozen. She manipulated him, I said quietly. Yes, she's been isolating Michael from everyone. His friends, his family. I've watched it happen over 3 years. He barely talks to anyone from before Lauren anymore, Jessica explained. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because Michael's not okay. He's depressed, anxious. He barely laughs anymore. And last week, he mentioned you, said he missed you, but felt too guilty to reach out after what he'd said. I think he's starting to realize what Lauren did, but he's trapped, Jessica said. Trapped how? I questioned. Financially, emotionally. Lauren controls everything, their money, their social life, their schedule. Michael's afraid if he leaves, she'll destroy him, Jessica revealed. What do you want me to do? I asked. I don't know, but someone needs to help him, and I thought you should know the truth, that he didn't cut you off because of you. He cut you off because Lauren made him believe he had to, Jessica said. I drove home in a daze. My son hadn't rejected me. He'd been manipulated into it. That night, I wrote Michael an email, not to guilt him, not to demand anything, just to tell him the truth.
Michael, I don't know if you'll read this, but I need you to know something. I respect the space you asked for 3 years ago. I haven't reached out because I wanted to honor your boundaries. But I also want you to know, if you ever need anything, ever want to talk, my door is always open. No questions, no judgment, no guilt. I love you. I always will. Dad. I hit send. Didn't expect a response. 2 days later, my phone rang. Michael. Dad? His voice was shaking. Michael, I said, my own voice breaking. I got your email. Can I come see you? He asked. Of course. When? I replied. Now. I'm already on the road. I'll be there in 2 hours, Michael said. He arrived at 7 p.m., looked thinner, tired, older. I opened the door. He stood there, tears streaming down his face. Dad, I'm so sorry, Michael sobbed. I pulled him into a hug. It's okay. You're here now. We talked for hours. He told me everything. How Lauren had slowly convinced him I was too dependent. How she'd made him feel guilty for every call, every visit. How she'd isolated him from friends, family, everyone who might challenge her control. I thought I was doing the right thing, setting healthy boundaries, but I miss you. I've missed you for 3 years, Michael said. Why didn't you reach out sooner? I asked gently. Shame? Guilt? Fear that you'd be angry, that I'd burned the bridge too badly, he admitted. You could never burn that bridge. You're my son. Nothing changes that, I told him. I need to leave her. I know I do, but I'm scared, Michael confessed. Scared of what? I questioned. Of starting over. Of admitting I made a mistake. Of her retaliating, he said. You won't be alone. I'll help you. We'll figure it out together, I promised. Over the next 3 months, Michael left Lauren, filed for divorce, moved back to Portland temporarily while he sorted everything out. Lauren fought it, tried to take everything, spread lies about Michael, turned mutual friends against him. But Michael had evidence of her manipulation, texts, emails, witnesses. The divorce finalized in August 2024. Michael kept his retirement account and half their assets. Lauren got the house. Michael moved into his own apartment in Portland, started therapy, reconnected with old friends. We have dinner every Sunday now, watch football, talk about life. Sometimes he apologizes for the 3 lost years. Stop apologizing, I tell him. You were being manipulated. That's not your fault. But I should have known, he starts. Manipulation works because you don't know. That's the whole point. What matters is you figured it out, and you got out, I interrupt. He's doing better now, smiling more, lighter. I'm grateful. Not for the 3 years of silence, but for the lesson they taught both of us. Here's what I learned. Respecting boundaries doesn't mean you failed. When Michael asked for space, I gave it. That respect is what kept the door open for him to return. If I'd pushed, demanded, guilted, I would have proven Lauren's lies right. I also learned that isolation is a weapon. Lauren systematically cut Michael off from everyone who could challenge her narrative. That's not love. That's control. Real partners encourage connections. Toxic ones destroy them. Most importantly, sometimes the best thing you can do for someone you love is wait. I didn't stop loving Michael during those 3 years. I didn't stop being his father. I just waited for him to find his way back. And he did. You can't force someone to see manipulation. They have to see it themselves. All you can do is be there when they're ready to leave. Some bridges aren't burned. They're just temporarily closed. Wait for them to reopen. If this story moved you, hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments about manipulation, boundaries, and unconditional love. And subscribe for more stories about patience, family, and understanding that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply wait.